my bags and I hit the road. Left the city lights for a simpler code. In an old school bus, I found my peace. 10 acres of freedom where my worries cease. Rolling through the pines, the sky so wide, with diesel and gunner right by my side. We're making our way through the wild and free, building a homestead, just my dogs and me. In the piney woods where the tall trees sway, each week I'm building and living day by day.
Hello, welcome to Basecamp. If you're new here, I purchased 10 acres in East Texas piney woods about 1.5 years ago, and I've been slowly working to turn it into a homestead. I started out living in a 4x8 micro camper that I built back in 2017, and I lived in that for about 8 months. I've since upgraded, and I'm currently living in a 38-foot school bus. Since I've been out here, I put up this temporary canopy over here that had the camper underneath it, and as you can see up there, it's seen better days. The roof of it's coming apart. I'm going to be taking it down soon and opening the space back up. I also built a outdoor shower with water collection on the back. Fenced in the whole yard area. And my most recent build was this water collection tower over here with an on-demand pump, giving me fresh water to the bus. If you're interested in any of those, I have builds videos on all of those. But this video is going to be a little different than my normal videos. I had a company reach out to me and ask if I'd like to review a product. Of course, they're not paying me for it, but they did send me the product for free, and it's something that I've had an interest in for a while anyway. So I decided to take them up on it. And the product they sent me is a stick welder / TIG welder from a company called Sefaspe, I believe is how they said they pronounce it. It's a tiny little thing, only weighs 6.4 pounds. But from what I've been reading and looking at, it seems like it'd be a good little entry-level or small project welder. I'll go ahead and preface this by saying I'm not a welder. I've done a little bit of MIG welding with flux core wire only, some small stuff here and there, but all self-taught by watching how-to videos and reading and learning. I'm not real good at it, but I can get stuff to stick together, and then of course clean it up with a grinder and paint. What's that saying? Grinder and paint makes me a welder I ain't. So this one here comes with everything you need to stick weld. Of course, it's also got the capability of TIG welding, but the torch and the gas bottle sold separately. and I did not get those things, so eventually I will probably get a torch and a bottle of gas and try my hand at TIG welding. But for today, I'm just going to be trying out the stick welding, see if I can get it to strike an arc and stick some metal together. Let me go ahead and set the camera up, and I'll open the box up and show you everything that's in it, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so this is the Sefaspe MMA 200 SE. It's a 200 amp stick slash TIG welder. Now, I've already opened this box and looked through it just to get an idea of everything that was in here, but I'm going to show you everything that came with it. So, got the wire that holds the electrodes for welding. Got the grounding clamp, grounding cable. Now this welder is a, it works off of 110 or 220, and it will switch over automatically, so you don't have to adjust any settings or anything as far as to switch it. So it comes with this adapter, a regular 110, plugs into a 220, and then you can, or you just plug it into 220. Comes with some electrode welding rods. These are E6013s. I believe they're 3/16 of an inch. And from what I understand, these are a good overall do-it-all welding rod. Looks like there's 5 of them in the package. So this is nice. I can play with it, experiment with it without having to buy any welding rods. Comes with a brush for cleaning off the slag. I don't know how well that would work. I've got a better quality steel tip brush that I'll probably be using instead of this, but it does come in there. Looks like a handle. Not sure exactly where that goes. Got a user manual. I haven't even looked at this, so I don't know how in depth it goes or how good it is, but got the specifications, an overview, troubleshooting guide. I'll look at that some more later. Alright, camera cut off. I'm not sure if it overheated or what, but and this here is the welder itself. I mean, like I said, it's tiny. It weighs next to nothing. It says it's 6.4 pounds. You got your positive and negative connection, your adjustment here, knob, power cable, on-off switch on the back. I'm still not sure what this handle's for. I'll have to look at the manual and try to figure out what that's for. Get back to you on that. The one other thing that's in the box is I guess a welding mask. Looks like it just snaps together. I don't know that I would trust to use this. I've got a regular welding helmet that I'll be using. But I guess if you don't have one and you get this welder, it does come with this little mask. Alright, I flipped the camera around and put it over here in the shade, so hopefully it won't overheat. It's about 90 degrees out here right now, and so I'm guessing that's what's happening, is the camera's overheating. Anyway though, you do have this little welding mask that it comes with. I did figure out what the handle's for. So I guess if you're good at welding with one hand, you can hold the mask with your other, and you don't have another option, it does come with it. Like I said, I'll be using a regular welding mask with an auto darkening lens. That's everything that comes in the box. Like I said, you get the welder, grounding cable, electrode holder, a wire brush, electrodes, user manual, a 110 to 220 adapter, and a welding mask. Now this lens was separate in the box and I already snapped it in there. It's a pretty dark lens, but now this welder sells on Amazon. There'll be a link in the description the company provided with a discount code. Now I don't get any revenue from that link, and it's up to you whether or not you want to buy it. But like I said, I did get the welder for free, and I'm going to try it out, see how it does, and I'll let you know what I think. Alright guys, it's a different day. It started raining on me the other day when I was doing the unboxing, so I didn't get a chance to try this thing out. So I'm gonna do that now. See how it goes. All right. So I'm definitely not a welder. But once I got it going, I think with some practice I ought to be able to stick some stuff together. I'm not sure how, if I had it too hot for that thin metal. You can see how much it warped. But for a little scrap piece of metal and first time with a stick welder, it doesn't look half bad. All you welders in the comments, go ahead and let me know what I did wrong and what I can do to improve. Like I said, I'm not a welder, so I really don't know what I'm doing. But I mean, it looks like it. I don't know how hot this thing is. I definitely had some penetration. Probably could have cleaned up the backside of this a little more. Definitely think I probably had it a little too hot. Turned up a little too much. I'm gonna grab some little pieces of scrap and see if I can't actually stick some stuff together. Another thing is, this generator is just a little 2,000 watt inverter generator that I was running that on. And when I turned it off, it said overload on the light on the generator. So it may not be strong enough to push this little welder. I do have a bigger generator that I could use, but right now it's buried in the back of my shed, and I don't really want to pull it out just for this little test run. I'm gonna grab a couple little pieces of scrap metal and see if I can't stick them together with some tack welds and just see how it does. All right, so obviously I burned right through it, put a big hole in it, but it's stuck together. Okay, so I think that's about all I'm gonna do for now. I obviously need some practice with it, and some just practice welding overall. As you can see, I was having a hard time getting an arc, but once I got it and figured it out, it's still a little hot. I was able to get, you know, a good practice bead there. I'm sure all you real welders out there are going to be like, that looks horrible, and tell me all the stuff I did wrong, but feel free. Let me know in the comments what I'm doing wrong and what I can do to improve besides practice, because I know I need that. But overall, for the size of this little welder, it's obviously got some capabilities. I'm curious how it would do on my big generator with a little more power. And I don't know if you could hear that, but every time I'd try to strike the arc, the generator would sound like it was bogging down. But it was able to get me some, at least little practice welds for a first time ever stick welding, just by stuff that I've read on the internet and watched on YouTube myself. I think it's not bad. But anyway, again, this is the Sefaspe 200E, or 200 SE. Now the company sent me that for free to try it out, do a video on it, and because it's something that I had an interest in, I took them up on the offer, and they sent it to me. They did provide a link to Amazon where these are available. I'll put that in the description. There's also a discount code. Now, they didn't tell me how much the discount was for, but there is a discount code that I'll put in the description. So if you're interested in trying this thing out, I think when I looked at it on Amazon, it was less than $130. I'm not sure what the price is now, and I'm not sure what it'll be when you're watching this. But for such a small little unit, so lightweight, I could see somebody throwing it in the toolbox on their truck, or putting it on their tractor, having it with them out in the field, and need to make a quick repair. It might be good for you. Might be something you want to try out. Like I said, it's a 110 volt or 220 volt capable. It automatically detects which one you're using and self-adjusts, so you don't have to change anything. But guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you watching. If you like what I'm doing out here, make sure you hit subscribe. Help me out a little bit. Leave a comment down below, especially you welders. Let me know what I can do to what I'm doing wrong. Be nice though. Constructive criticism. And make sure you hit that like button. Any of those you do will help me out and help me grow the channel, and I appreciate it. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.